amazing change in their economies in each of these countries. Not without problems, but amazing reform movements.
Attack, I mean, obviously, the film is optimistic. Do you think that optimism is well placed?
Well, I mean, to be frank, I don't know. It's a film which has captured the last 10, 15 years of what's been going on in South America. None of us know how it will end. I hope it gets better, not worse. And a lot will depend on what happens in the United States, where I think we were too optimistic, not just us, but the South American leaders, was about Obama, because that film ended on a high note because Obama had just come to power. This was before the coup in Honduras, before the decision to build another base in Colombia, and now people are very upset, both in the United States and in South America, that they see continuity rather than change. But so that's where we were perhaps not, everyone was a bit too optimistic, but as far as what is happening in South America itself, I mean, lots of social changes. A country socially quite conservative like Argentina last week decided to legalize gay marriages. I mean, it's unheard of in a Catholic country, and of course the church is up in arms. So a lot of sort of changes are taking place. The one point I think it's there, where they are united, is where Lula said very clearly, we want to be free, and we want to be treated as equals. That's what unites them. In other words, unlike Britain, they don't want to be a junior partner. They want to be equals. And that's important. And that is not an unimportant demand at this precise point in time for all these. That's what they agree on. Other things they disagree, as Kirchner said. You know, we love Chavez, but we have disagreements with him. Lula the same. So it's not that they are all monolithic. They disagree with each other. But nonetheless, they are agreed that the continent can move forward if it's united on certain elementary things.
Is it more fun making documentaries than fiction films?
they both have their rewards. You know, the documentary, you go right to it, you go fast, it's lower budget, you get the results quicker, there's no actors, there's no studio, there's no sense of agendas, costumes, budgets, stories, and so forth. And, the feature film, if it works, it's such a marvelous process. It's coming together so much concentration and effort. It's a true army. But it can be, but you have actors. It's another world. You can't. With documentaries, it's all there. It's like doing research, field research. But you know, I think that what still troubles me, and it's hard to get the anger up all the time. But why is the United States against this? This is a very key question. We assume, well, because these guys are bad guys in some way. But why is the United States actively, its State Department under, whether it's Bush or Obama, whether it's Cheney or Hillary Clinton, what's the difference? Why is our policy systematically to criticize, and then subvert these elections after we should know better from our own past? But we keep doing, we've been doing this for so long, subverting reform movements, especially since World War II, and it seems to be a habit we can't get out of. And the media helps it. The media enables it. The media in my country, the film, you saw the film with your own eyes, that it's not an evil film at all. I mean, whatever you may not agree with it, you may think that things are left out, but it does make a fairly important, large point. That film, across the country, even those who like it say, hey, I like the film, but I know it's propaganda. I know it's Stone making a rose-colored agitprop. At best. I think that's something fundamentally wrong. It shows you there's a missile shield in place in my country. A missile shield, that's Reagan's idea, Star Wars, to shoot down any incoming hostile missiles and get them out. It didn't succeed. It was a ridiculous plan, and it won't succeed. He spent $200 billion so far. But the missile shield works in the media. It's to say, nothing too far out there can get through, because it has to be wrong because it's too far to the left. This is pure Orwell. That's what's happening in America. That's what's very sad. You cannot say this kind of stuff.
Well, obviously, one of the other, well, I don't know whether it's an aim of the film, but certainly in the first part of the film, is a kind of, it's not an attack, it's a rewriting, it's a repositioning of what the North American media does. You make that quite clear, that you selected an awful lot of material to show that constant repetition of a certain type of language about Chavez. Chavez is a dictator, Chavez is a demagogue, Chavez is, you know, and it's a common currency. I mean, particularly within Fox News, but it's common through all of those news media.
You can almost say on an intellectual level, what the argument here is that it's about in Venezuela and many of these countries, it's the left versus the right. It's the old way of doing things versus the new way of doing things. By focusing on people like Hugo Chavez and saying, this is a dictator, you take the focus away from that, and that's the right-wing way of fighting. You say, make it about Chavez, not about the poor people, and not about what he's done for the poor people. It's the same thing that's going on in the United States. It's very ironic right now. The Obama situation is a sad one, but they're doing the same thing to Obama. They're saying, it's Obama, he's a socialist. They're saying the same words that they're using against Obama as they're using against Chavez. He's a socialist. The teabag parties,